This is intended for a mature audience only. Bitches.
Welcome, my fellow deviants, to Raw and Uncut. I'm Randy, and I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts,
Megan.
Izzy, keeping you busy?
And for those of you just joining us, this podcast is three friends pushing the boundaries of social norms and bringing them to you. This week's safe word is squish.
Squishity, squish, 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 show, squishity, ash.
Only you, Izzy.
Go, go, go.
Only you. So let's get into this week's topic. We're going to be discussing hookups. Are they good or are they bad? Hookups now are more widely accepted among the new generation, and it's actually the more preferred method of having sex anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially with the apps coming in, it makes it so much easier.
You know, dating apps are just a dime a dozen now, and, you know, we're going to cover these more in a future episode, but we'll talk about them a little bit right now, you know. But it's so easy to just swipe left, swipe right, and be on to your next booty call.
Shoot, Grinder. By the distance. Like.
By the distance, by the foot. You know?
Oh, man.
You can walk out your back door and probably find one.
Grinder will make you paranoid.
So before we actually get started, though, I want to go around and what is your thoughts on a hookup, Izzy?
My thoughts, whether it's good or bad, it has its good moments, but overall, I'm gonna say bad.
Bad. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, no,
Bad.
no, no.
Bad.
I'm going against the
You must
current
have-
here.
you must have had
Definitely doing
some.
I'm gonna drown.
Yeah.
You must have had some bad experiences. I'm telling
I
you.
mean, I get too connected with people. That's the
Oh.
problem. And hookups, you gotta go in there and you
Sweet.
know get the job done.
You're a lover, not a fighter. Or I should say a
little bit.
lover, not a fucker.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm no saint because I've done things,
Yeah.
but overall, I'm gonna say barrier.
All right, Megan, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, see, no, I'm all for the hookup. I'm not about, no, don't get me wrong. I have the capability to do the whole love thing. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to. I mean, there's nothing better than a little bit of variety.
Yes.
If I want one that's, a little hot and heavy right now and one that's a little more, what do you call
hot
them?
and heavy?
Sensual on a bad day for me,
Sensual. I don't know that I've known one that you've gone out with that's sensual. It's usually like here and gone, and
Oh, the sub is pretty,
sometimes.
he can be.
I've only had one hookup that was sensual, and I'm like, "What are you doing to me? Like, oh my god, you're feeling my body in places. Oh, okay, let's do this."
Yeah, no, some are into that, and I guess it's just about, that's the other thing, is like what is the time frame here for this hookup here? Everybody has this different, let's go meet for a drink, let me make sure we vibe. If you show up and you're nasty, I'm walking.
See, I don't know that that's necessarily a hookup, though. It's like we were talking earlier, that's more of like now what they call one night stand. Nowadays, a one night stand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, I think a one night stand is you go out for a drink or go to dinner and a movie and then fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A hookup is basically I walk through the front door, clothes are off by the time I get to the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, one night stand feels a little bit nicer. Like you make a little bit of a connection and then, things are a little bit good. You don't have to come back.
One
It
night
is what it
stands
is.
are kind of those wine me, dine me, 69 me's.
There we go.
There you go.
Hookups is just, let me just get it in.
Yeah. Hookups
is
is
more-
just do the dirty deed and
Yeah.
be done.
See, I kind of go back and forth on this one because although I do agree that there is a difference between a one night stand and a hookup, because some do need it's not even a connection. They have to make sure that they're feeling it.
Yeah.
Some are a lot more physically attracted, and that's the only way they can get off eventually is if they have that physical attraction. If you're walking in there and you're not making me hot just standing there,
Well,
we're not getting any farther.
I think with we go back to dating apps a little bit, it before we even make that decision to hook up with somebody, you've already seen enough pictures to know if you're going to be physically attracted to
You
them.
mean you hope
This
you
is true.
see
We've all been
pictures.
catfished.
Yeah.
I don't know, with hookups.
And I'm sure,
Sometimes I'm like, a blowjob is a blowjob.
Okay.
True.
It's like, I'm not going to go any further here, but
if
you
that
can suck this dick.
but if that mouth is missing 3 or 4 teeth, I don't know that a blowjob's just a blowjob.
They call that a gum job.
Just come and gum it. No, so I don't know. There are some times when I am on the fence on whether I'll be able to continue and go that final step, and I have to meet them. Let's go have one drink at the bar, and if it's decent, fine. If not, I just slip out the back, and you don't hear from me again.
I've seen that happen too.
Mm-hmm.
Into the darkness.
So for Izzy, it's walk in the door and get your business on.
Yeah, it's all business.
Megan, you're more of like, hey, you got to at least kind of show some interest.
We at least got a video, so I know the pictures you sent me are legitimate.
Oh, so video chat, not actually record the sex.
Well, I mean, I'll do both. But for the initial meeting, whether this is going to be one night stand, hookup, or whatever, to make that determination. I mean, I will do one night stands if they're on the board. If they're a bagger, I'll do that. But if for hookup, it's got to be like an immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm
mean,
just laying there.
I kind of
It's
go
not
back
fun.
and forth with hookups, whether they're good, whether they're bad. Overall, I think we all want that one thing, which kind of makes them lean toward bad.
That wasn't really an answer.
I'm not
I
done
lean
yet.
between good or bad.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
But like I said in the trailer, I am a small town boy with big city experiences. I've been around the world, essentially. So I've had my experiences with hookups, quite a few of them. And at the end of the day,
You're the cum pie queen.
I don't no. You're not putting that anywhere near me. So, but at the end of the day, I think, for me, I personally would rather have that relationship, So a hookup to me is bad, but I do enjoy them,
Oh, we all have needs.
And at the end, I mean, the other side of that too, though, for me is even if I'm in a relationship, if you don't pet this dog, he ain't staying on the porch very long.
Yeah.
So he'll find a new person to pet it.
Yeah.
So I think, with the new shift in culture out there with the dating apps and stuff like that, it does make it easier. So, so let me ask you this: we'll go back to Megan here for a second because she's the one that seems to like, the physical romantic attraction.
Not romantic, but definitely physical attraction. It's got to be there.
When do you cut a hookup off?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like when you're done having sex, at what point do you want them to go?
Immediately.
No, see, that depends. Okay, so story time. I have a very bad hookup experience. So I met this guy on Tinder. We talked for, I don't know, about a week maybe. And that's mostly just because of my work schedule. I needed time. So we contacted each other a couple times, talked over Tinder. Tinder got boring, moved to Snapchat where it's a little more fun. And then he decided it was time to meet. So I'm sure, whatever. But I was at a party, actually, Randy's party. We were doing a cookout outside. And I get this message, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm at a cookout right now. What are you doing? Well, I was wondering if we could meet. Okay.
Oh, I think I know this story now.
Yeah.
Oh, we were going to get the stories later, but go ahead.
Yeah.
You'll just have to tell another one later.
Oh, I got you.
This is all new to me, so
But
I'm ready.
so I'm like, well, why don't you just come over? We're playing cornhole. We're outside hanging with friends. Just come hang out.
He wanted to put
Damn
his
cornholes.
he wanted to put his bag in her hole.
Yeah. So he no, I don't know that I'd feel comfortable meeting your friends yet. Well, I get that. Okay, sure, whatever. I'm not exactly sure what this, he's intending this to be. This was still pretty early in my venturing phase. So he comes over. We meet over at my place. As soon as I shut my door, he has me up against the wall. making
Damn.
out with me. Sure.
That's a get down to business guy.
I like
Yeah,
it though.
I'm-
I'm in it.
Usually I was okay. Usually I'm, let's go.
Let's do
You know,
this.
I feel he's ready. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So we head upstairs and we get down to business. It's really kind of bland, a little bit vanilla.
He was a white guy, wasn't he?
He was a white guy.
Oh.
So it was like maybe 5 seconds, and then he went.
5 seconds for what?
Oh, until he came.
So you were literally in your bedroom with him for 5 seconds, and he busted a nut.
Yeah, it was like maybe 3 pumps, and that
Damn,
was
man!
it.
If you're listening to this, I'm sorry that you,
Yeah,
God damn.
it was
you need to
very
work
bad.
on your game there, buddy.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And then he backs out and kind of sits up. And I'm like, all right, he's not moving. So that means I got to clean myself up. So I go to the bathroom to get myself cleaned up. I come out and he's dressed.
Damn, Superman.
Like he was fast. Like it doesn't take me that long
Damn.
to get cleaned up. Dressed. I'm like, oh, you're done. He's like, yeah.
We just call him the faster than speeding bullet.
Yeah.
The
So,
speeding bullet.
It gets worse.
It's still going.
It gets
He's
worse.
getting out the door.
So we go downstairs, and here I'm already upset because you don't do that. Even
Yeah.
if you come early, you take care of your other
Yeah.
partner. That's just wrong.
Yeah,
Leave.
you don't leave me hanging.
You
I
don't.
mean,
Oh,
geez.
wait, I'll tell you.
Oh man,
I
that's
believe in people hanging.
that's so mean. Like,
You
come
can't
on.
do that.
I
Like,
mean, if we agreed to that beforehand, okay, fine. If
I mean, that is a kink for some
it is
people.
a kink, and I'm fully supportive of the kink community, but that was not agreed upon beforehand.
Right. You got yours. Now I want mine.
So downstairs we go, and he starts to want to just talk. Like, oh man, what did I just get myself into? Of course, he's young, so I'm here assuming that he's
How young?
yeah. Let's just say he's legal.
18 legal or 21?
No, 21 is legal for me.
Okay.
21. So I'm thinking, he wants to chat now, and then he's all embarrassed and everything. I'm like, what's going on? I took his V.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I
had
definitely knew
no
this story.
Idea. No idea.
God damn.
Like, why wouldn't you be honest about that shit? Like, it would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
He left. I did not reach back out to him. That is not one I continue to even consider.
But has he tried to get back with you?
Oh my God. So he found me on
course.
Facebook. He found me on Instagram. He found me on Tinder.
That
He
pussy
found me.
magic.
Oh my God. He found me on 2 other dating apps, and he keeps requesting my match. And it's every
Well, you took his V.
Yeah.
I know, but now I'm scarred for that because he won't leave me alone. I'm like, you're borderline
Stalker.
obsessive here.
Yeah.
Stalker.
Yeah. So
Guys
I mean,
get that way.
there are good times and there are bad times, but I'm all about honesty. If we're gonna do this, you're gonna know at this time you are not my only partner. And number 2, if you've got something you need or don't want, you got to say that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. So that still didn't answer my question, though.
Yes, it did.
No, you just broke off into a story.
I did not.
When you're done with the deed, when do you want them to leave?
Was it?
Like, do you want them to leave right afterwards, or are you a cuddler after?
No, I would not say I'm a cuddler. There are certain times that I like to cuddle, but that's a specific. Hey, that you're coming to fuck and then cuddle.
But now I got a question. How should I phrase this? How immediate are your hookups? Because with Grindr, you could literally talk with someone and 5 minutes later, y'all guys are hooking up.
See, that's
Is
the
this-
problem. I don't have an app like that.
Damn, straight people are lost.
It's horrible. It is. I've looked. I have looked. I've Googled what apps tell me who's closest.
I don't know of any straight apps like that.
So
I mean,
there's some dialogue, there's some
some-
build up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. There has to be some kind of communication.
What about you, Izzy? When do you want your hookup to leave?
Immediately. I'm the opposite. I'm selfish. I know what I want. in it, and I don't care what you want in it. Like, if you get what you want out of it, then great. But it's a hookup to me is more like, I'm here to get mine.
See, that's kind of
and that's terrible.
That's kind of weird to hear coming from the introvert in our group.
I know, and you guys are gonna learn a lot about me.
I mean, this sounds like somebody who's more aggressive.
Yeah,
not an
absolutely.
introvert. Like,
I mean, we flipped the pages back in the day, still discovering myself and figuring things out. You know, I was more of that submissive, like, you know, I'm gonna try to, you know, you
Please
get off
them
to,
too. Yeah.
But then it's like, this is a hookup.
Yeah.
I don't plan on seeing you again.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of turned into, you know, that kind of thing. And that's why I'm steering kind of towards bad.
right.
Because it's like, you know.
Well, I can tell you for me, I've been known to tell people, they'll say, well, can I take a shower? No, when you get your ass home, you can get out of my house. You know, when I'm done, I'll make sure you get yours too. But when we're done, I'm done. Like, get out. It's time to go. I don't want to look at you. You're not going to make me breakfast.
No, yeah. Oh, no.
It's like,
No.
It's time to roll, homie.
I'm talking like maybe 20 minutes. But in that 20 minutes, most likely, I'm trying to make sure that they are done for the night.
Oh, so you're trying to go for seconds.
I mean, fourths, fifths. I mean,
oh,
damn.
she's a
greedy.
hungry girl.
She gonna leave behind a raisin.
oh man, once is not enough. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not. Hydrate. Damn it.
This is, I mean, some people hydrate and it's a one-time thing for them, you know,
No.
especially when you got a V. I'm
Yeah,
sure,
oh,
you know.
okay.
Yeah, that
Yes.
explained a lot
That-
once
you
you
know.
said that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with hookups, is it becoming more or less socially acceptable in society nowadays than it used to be?
I think it's more socially acceptable. I don't think it's something people should be ashamed about. I mean, of course, everyone's going to have their preference, whether they want to do it or not. But like some people get in their heads because I'm sleeping with multiple people, I'm a whore or whatever. That's no,
Yeah,
you're
I
just
agree.
human. You're a sexual being. Get it when you can. But, you know,
Yeah.
from
I have
that
to agree.
perspective, it's not.
You agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I agree with that too. I think that, you know, us as human beings have labeled sex so much in the past that it's not what it was intended to be. I personally think that sex should be a fluid environment, no pun intended. But it shouldn't be viewed as bad if I'm single and sleeping with other people, you know. But that does bring us to a good topic, though, of, you know, the difference between men and women sleeping with multiple partners. You know, you have a man who sleeps with multiple partners and they're called a player, you know, or they're getting theirs. I'm getting mine. But you get a woman who sleeps with multiple players and they're viewed as a slut or something bad.
Yeah.
You know, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with that. And that's hard. I mean, there's some people that look at my lifestyle and don't understand, and I don't expect everybody to understand. And they don't have to. They just have to like me. For me, everybody has sex. I just happen to enjoy having multiple partners, but that doesn't make me wrong. That doesn't make me a slut. Now,
I mean, I don't think you're a slut.
yeah. Well, thank you. Now,
Sometimes I'm jealous and envious of what I see her take home.
oh man, you should see the one I just took home.
Okay. Okay.
What we did, we saw him walk across our living room.
The
other day.
walk of shame. Are we going to get into that?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, God.
that one's nice.
He looked down and kept going. Don't make eye contact.
Some are a little shy.
But, you know, back to what we were talking about. I mean, it goes along with the social acceptance of it. You know, I think that people as a whole need to start viewing people differently. You know, I don't think that a female who sleeps with multiple partners is a slut. You know, to me, a slut is probably somebody who's not choosy about who they're sleeping with.
Oh, everybody and anybody.
Exactly. And we know the barflies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so, but, you know, whereas the same goes saying for a male. I mean, a male can be a male whore, essentially, you know, because they're not choosy about who they sleep with. And we know guys like that too, you know, so, but it is kind
That's
of
that gender dynamic. Like it's cooler for guys to do it, but when girls do it, it's
right.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of what we're getting into.
I mean, it's weird, but honestly, with all the different things coming out now about poly people was
I
a
agree.
big no. Like,
yeah, I mean,
even
that's
a decade
that's
ago.
a whole, yeah.
Yeah, but they're
Well, I mean-
breaking that.
But-
that
and I think that kind of helps also because
Mhm.
more women are coming out being like, it's not that I'm a slut. It's just I enjoy the company of more than one
Exactly.
at a time. And I think people are, thank God, being more accepting
Mhm.
about that kind of lifestyle.
Exactly. And nowadays we're moving more toward where orgies don't have to be done behind closed
Yeah.
doors.
You just put a pineapple on your door and you're good to go.
I don't know about that. What the hell's a pineapple got to do?
Oh, honey, we need to talk.
I used to use duct tape.
No,
duct tape
it's a
on.
pineapple means you're available. You're
Available? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh my.
So when I was in the military,
A pineapple means something different.
well, no, I mean, we used to use duct tape.
Oh.
And my roommate would know when he came back if there was duct tape over the key lock not to come
Not
inside.
to come inside. Oh no. Oh yeah, no.
Haven't done that. But I did have sex while my other roommate was in the room sleeping, snoring.
Oh,
and
I've
we're like
done
in the
that.
same room. Okay, I'm not alone.
No.
Okay, cool.
I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most.
Yeah, I did that one time in the military. I was having sex with this guy in my room. I had a roommate. It was
Mhm.
just me and him, and this guy and I go way back. We were in boot camp together and duty stations before we were actually there where we were. And he was asleep in the other bed, and I had sex. We were having sex with this guy, or I was having sex, not him, but he was in his bed asleep, and I was having sex with this dude, and he just started to get a bloody nose out of nowhere. Like I didn't hit him, nothing. He didn't hit his head. He just started getting a bloody nose, and so he gets up, he jumps up, and he's kind of like frightened and
Freaked out. Yeah.
freaked out, and wakes up my roommate. I personally think the roommate was awake the whole time, but
Yeah.
he gets cleaned up, and it was kind of a joke at first, oh, Randy hit me in the nose, but my roommate looks at him and goes, well, that's what happens when bitches get lippy during sex.
Wow. Damn.
So that was a running joke for a while between us, and I mean, we've been there too, where like I've come out of the bathroom taking a shower, and he's like balls deep in some chick on the couch in our barracks room, and he's like, hey dude, you want to join in?
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I missed the party.
yeah, man, the military was kind of like college life,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're stationed overseas. So we've all been there though. You show up for a hookup and it's not what you thought. You've been catfished or something like that, and now you're in that cringeworthy moment. If you haven't had that moment, then you were probably the cringe for somebody else. What did you do? Did you ever walk out on them?
I
No.
got a lot.
You've
you?
never?
Yeah. I can see it.
I know you can see on his face that
Yeah.
he's got a story to tell,
I know,
and he's just
chomping at
not
the bit, but he's-
going to say it.
No, you tripped me up with the because I was thinking hookups, but now we went back to like bad dates.
No, we're still talking about hookups.
Yeah, that's where my mind went. That's where I was thinking of bad dates.
We're still talking about hookups here.
Okay.
Because I've had some cringeworthy moments in hookups. I've been down that road where it's like, I don't want to do this, and I know what I've done. There's been several I've walked out on. Some I just turn around and like, oop, nope, and walk away. I didn't answer the door,
Okay.
So we'll go around the table.
Okay.
All right, Izzy, you going to start us off with your cringeworthy hookup?
Cringe-worthy hookup. More like a one-night stand because I ended up sleeping at that guy's house.
Oof.
And there was
This
dinner.
coming from the person who said he just wants him to leave as soon as he's
No,
done.
this is in
Before
the
that?
beginning. That's where
Yeah.
all my cringe moments are at.
Yeah.
Now they don't exist because I'm like, it's done. It's over. It's more direct. I know what I want, bitches. So this one, we went out for a day. We grabbed some Indian food. Wait, dude, I like them big. I like them heavy. some chunk.
Like some thick.
Yeah, I like them thick, but not like
I like chunky.
don't get crazy. I like my big boys. Anyway, continuing on with our story. The one thing I realized from that out the gate is 2 introverts should not be paired together. Because before that, I would always go out with extroverts. I don't know, it just naturally happened. Like we would just click. But in this situation, we were both introverts. So we're meeting up. By the way, the phone conversations through Messenger, all of that, it was great. But when we met in person, it was unbearably awkward. I was trying to like pull teeth for a conversation, just trying to get something out of him and we just sat there at one point just staring at each other because it's like, okay, we're not really talking and I'm just eating Indian food for the first time. What are we doing here? Like, we had so much going. So my brain just switches to, okay, I'm gonna just dick this guy down and be on my merry way kind of deal. So we go back to his place and I forgot to mention he's Wiccan. So when I get to his room...
How'd you get out alive?
Oh, stop. Come on.
I didn't care. I was like, as long as you don't try to convert me to none. And we spoke about his coven and everything. And I'm like, cool. I'm just here for the booty at this point. Like, you are whatever you want to be. I'm going to dick you down. Anyway, we get to his room. I see all his idols and gods all around me.
Did he have a picture of you?
It's dimly lit. And I'm looking around. I'm like, cool. That's not where my brain is. Like, I'm not thinking about all the gods and stuff like that around me. And a lot of them were, I think, Hindu gods and stuff like that. So I'm like, whatever. Dick him down. And, once you have that moment, that release, you look around and then with more clarity, you're just like, where the fuck am I? Like, what am I doing?
I mean, you went in there with one thought in mind. You wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, it was just, this is what I'm... So now I'm paying attention to all his gods and stuff like that. And I'm like, if I leave this guy, will he curse me? Would he hex me? Like, what is going to happen? I'm not going to talk to this guy again. And he introduced me to his parrot. And yeah, that was his familiar. It was a parrot.
A parrot?
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there, just being awkward, just like, I want to go. But I'm here. Now he's finally having a conversation because he introduced his pet. Yeah. Now everything's cool. And we had a nice little conversation, went to sleep. Next morning, I was gone. That's my
I'm surprised
story.
you didn't like sneak out in the middle of the night.
Ugh.
I would have been out.
I'm surprised I didn't have nightmares.
I'm surprised you still don't have nightmares.
Just banging, and then there's like some Hindu god, like, I'm going to get you. But yeah, it was a little bit,
cringy.
Yeah, cringy.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell mine. I'm going to call mine, Please Be Quiet.
Okay.
This guy go way back to when I was younger and I was in the military, which is probably where I had most of my cringeworthy moments. I was overseas. This was back before the apps, back before, it was easy just to move on to your next. You either met them in a bar, you met them through work, or you met them through Yahoo Chat, which is where I met this guy. And you had to do some digging to meet through Yahoo Chat. It wasn't like you could just go on like, singles only in this area. They didn't have chat groups like that back then. But we met through Yahoo Chat and we talked for a little bit and, it was just going to be a straight up hookup. Like, no, we're not meeting for dinner. We're not doing that. I'm going over to your house. I'm going to give you the dick and that's going to be all. So I go over to his house. I go over to this guy's house, and this is probably one of the few times that I actually have hooked up with somebody who's older than me. I usually go for people who are younger than me, but I went this one time. I don't know what it was, but I went for somebody who's older. So I go over to his house. We go upstairs. The lights are off. There's nothing. We go straight upstairs. We're going to get right to the deed. So we have sex. We get down dirty. We finish up. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm out. So I get ready. I get dressed and I get ready to leave. And he looks at me and goes, hey, when you get ready to leave, just please be quiet. My kids are asleep in the other room.
Oh my God.
I never knew he had kids to begin with.
Serious?
Damn sure didn't know that they were in the other room.
Oh my God.
So I get dressed. And like I said, I go down. I get ready. I go to leave and go down the stairs. And as I'm going down the stairs, I'm noticing pictures on the wall. And I'm seeing these kids. Along with these kids, I'm seeing their mother.
Oh my God.
And I didn't know whether she was in the picture or not, you know, so I didn't address it right then and there, but I addressed it later.
Yeah.
You know, I left and we chatted a little bit more. Needless to say, I never went back to hook up with him again. And that's primarily because of what I found out. This guy was married.
You gave me a flashback moment of a hookup.
Like, this guy was married.
Yeah.
And when I asked him, I said, well, where's your wife? You know, you're in overseas where I was stationed at, and you've got kids, 3 of them. Where's your wife? And he's like, oh, she's over in the States. She's taking care of her sister who has cancer.
Ooh, see, that's why y'all gotta be grimy with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do that.
Nope.
Yeah, and then he tried to explain himself, like, I only do this kind of stuff when she's out of town and blah, 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 blah.
Like, it makes it
I'm like,
better.
yeah, like, it makes it better. Like, your wife is, 1, your kids are in the other goddamn room, and 2, your wife's taking care of your sister, or
Yeah.
her sister.
That's wild.
Like, you need a reality check, buddy. So, yeah, so that's one of my cringeworthy moments in my life. There's been plenty others.
I have a similar story to that, though, but it's just much shorter because it's a straight up hookup. I went in there, I'm going to get a BJ and bounce. And he had a little section set up, like, you know, the towel and everything. I'm like, ooh, I can squirt everywhere. I can paint the walls. So he sits me down. I got my legs, you know, I'm ready. Come on. And he's doing the work, and I'm looking around, just, you know, okay, it's kind of all right, but now I'm thinking of other things, so it's not that great. As I'm looking around, I'm seeing pictures, you know, on the wall and stuff, family photos, lots of kids. And I'm like, okay, who are these kids? And I'm looking around and I see more photos, like family photos and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Don't tell me this guy's married. So I let him finish. Once he finished,
That's right.
You always got to get yours.
you know,
right.
I need my clarity. That's when I'm like, oh my God, what happened? I asked him, like, oh, so, like, are you married? Like, is he? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. And I just walk out the door and never come back. Like, he never brought that up. I just put the clues together and was like, oh God, I did that. Yay.
Yeah, no.
So that's our cringeworthy moments. What, do you have another one other than your V?
Cringeworthy. I don't know that I have a cringeworthy one. I did it. So I was in Norfolk, and I started seeing, this was way back when. Started seeing this guy. We hooked up a couple times. I was a little bit of a late bloomer. Yeah,
Okay.
he took my V. He got super attached.
That sounds like a running thing for you.
I know. That sucks. But it was so
She
bad.
got the magic stick.
I guess so. I don't know about
it's-
stick, but
I think she's got the magic clip.
there. I mean, but he actually had to go on suicide watch
Damn.
because I said
Really?
no. Yeah, I wasn't
God
gonna see him anymore.
Yeah, she's snaring
Damn.
them.
I think I took a break on that phone for a while. Had to reevaluate if that was
Goodness
really
gracious.
my fault.
Well, what about,
That was cringeworthy.
yeah.
That
What
was
about
scary.
your best hookups? Anybody have any good stories about those?
Shoot, the best
Oh my
hookup.
God, yes.
The guy put my foot in his mouth.
Oh, no.
What?
I
Wait a
can't do
second.
that. Nope.
Now he does the feet.
And
Or was it an accident?
Random. No, it was not an accident. My legs were in the air.
Oh man.
This is when I was bottoming, of course.
Uh-huh.
And he just grabbed. He was hitting it.
He says that like he's got to tell the listeners what he does. I think they can pick up on his voice what he does.
I switched between the two. And so like he is hitting it. I'm like getting emotional because the dick is so good.
Yeah.
You got those tears rolling?
Yeah, I'm like, what is he doing to me? I don't even gotta jerk myself off. And it's building. And he puts my foot in his mouth and he's just sucking my toes. And I'm like, this is a first. Like out of nowhere.
No.
Yeah.
Just happened. And it threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was hitting it so well, I did not care in the moment. I was just like,
no, you can come straight from a pedicure and I ain't sticking your feet in my mouth. No.
That's the thing. He just did it.
No.
I'm like, whoa.
Everything else,
no.
I have no problem with. I cannot do feet.
No.
I won't do it.
Yeah, I'm not. Personally, I don't do feet. So y'all foot fetish people, back off.
We love you, but sorry.
Yeah. Y'all do your thing and nothing against you. I just can't put somebody's toes in my mouth.
No.
I enjoy toys. Toys? Ooh.
Oh, I know you enjoy toys.
Toes. I mean, that he gave me an experience.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to forget that.
Yeah, that one.
What about you, Megan? Any memorable or good hookups?
Oh my God, yes. So I call them twins.
Oh, I know all about the twins.
Oh yes, the twins. They're not actually blood related, but they spend all of their time together, and they have for years. They're both straight and have finally decided.
They say they're straight.
Well, they say they're straight.
I don't believe it for a second.
So they finally decide that, hey, we do everything else together. Why don't we try having sex with somebody together?
Okay.
I guess who got to steer that one? So it took them a while to get up enough courage. I guess that's courage. Met at a hotel room one night. They are completely they weren't completely drunk, but you could tell they were so nervous.
Okay.
Like one of them was like standing in the corner of the hotel room. The other one was kind of relaxed on the chair. They went out and bought me a bottle of wine. Thanks, but
damn.
Yeah, they were
really gonna wine you, dine you in 69. Yeah.
Well, they bought the hotel room too.
Damn.
So
they got that Marine money, don't they?
Yeah, that's what it was. And there was two of them. So finally, I'm like, well, are we gonna do this? Because y'all look kind of nervous, and I'm cool if you need to stop and not continue, but I need to go so I can go get mine. And they're like, nope, we're going to do this. And the sub of the two, so it's a dom and a sub. They both.
Again, they think they're straight.
Clear.
But if you've got roles in a straight relationship that's dom and sub,
I think that
you might be questioning. One of them is
between them, the guys.
One of them is dom and one is sub.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Like you couldn't tell.
And they identify like I'm a sub, and the other one's like
one is absolutely the dom identifies and will name the sub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See, and that tells me right there that one of them is questioning and just wants to see the other naked.
So finally got to it. It was hours. It was so great. We took breaks.
Damn, water breaks, Gatorade.
Yeah, we did. It was fantastic. Then finally, when they both went at the same time, and then one got very upset about it. So we had to kind of which was very weird. I wasn't ready for that.
Upset how?
So like
it freaked him out because they both come at the same time?
I think so.
Again.
I really do.
How many more clues do you need to know that these two are not completely straight?
I don't know. So it took him a second. He kind of sat away. We rubbed his back. And then he kind of peeked over at us.
Wait, did you say we rubbed his back?
Yeah.
Again,
Me and the
another
other
clue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They could be gay. I don't care.
Yeah.
I will be with gay.
Now,
it doesn't matter.
Is this the one that you called me when I was working in my squad car to come pick you up?
No.
That's
was a different one.
Same hotel?
No, different hotel.
Oh, God.
I was stranded.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was my best night. I still see them.
I bet you do.
I
I'd
do.
still see them if it was
It
me.
was so good. I still see them.
I guess. I mean, for me, I think I'd probably have to say my most memorable hookup was probably not one that just, it was a hookup situation. Like we just had sex, but it was over multiple occasions. So it was like we hooked up and then we hooked up again and then we hooked up again. And this was also a Marine, a devil dog. And we'll probably call it the devil dog story.
Okay. Yeah, I like that story.
So, in this story, basically, Marine devil dog used to come over and sleep in the dog kennel. That's all he wanted to do.
Wait, an actual dog kennel?
An actual dog kennel. He would come over and sleep in an actual dog kennel. He would come in. We would not have sex, nothing. I'd open the dog kennel. He'd get in the dog kennel and go to sleep.
Interesting.
Right. And so that's what he wanted.
Wait, you're a participant.
Yeah. So I was a participant in this. Like, he would actually come over for the simple reason to sleep in my dog kennel. So I'd let him in. I'd let him into the dog kennel and he'd sleep, you know, like a dog would in the dog kennel through the night. He sometimes wanted a chew toy, you know, whatever. They didn't.
Chew toy.
Yeah, a chew toy.
Okay.
So, and then in the morning, whenever he would get up, that's when he wanted to have sex. And then he would get dressed and go to work.
We need to bring that guy in. I have questions.
I don't know if we can
I'm
find them or not.
curious.
He's probably stationed somewhere in the world at this
So-
point.
Probably.
That turned him on, essentially, being in the cage.
I
and-
guess.
It's
Yeah,
a submissive kink.
that's what turned him on.
Yeah.
My knees.
I mean, I had a blanket and stuff in there for him.
Oh,
you
how
know,
nice of you.
right? Like, I mean, I just didn't throw him in there on a plastic bottom kennel, and hit him with a
wait, what
rolled
does
up
that fall
newspaper.
under? Isn't that like pup play or is that the Dom sub world?
I don't know. For me, I kind of think that he looked at it as the Dom sub world.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when you say pup play, a lot of people think like, oh, they wear a mask or a collar, or what have you. This guy didn't want any of that. He literally just wanted to sleep
He just
in the
wanted to be
kennel.
in the cage,
Right.
kind of thing. Okay.
Right. So, anybody else have any other stories they want to tell to our listeners?
We will be here all night.
Hey,
Yes,
y'all,
squish, squish.
if y'all listen to the trailer, you know that the tea is going to get spilled in this podcast, so be prepared. Well, that about wraps up this episode of Raw and Uncut, my fellow deviants. If you want to know more about our show, head over to the show notes where you can head to our website and actually make contact with each of our co-hosts here and myself. Make sure you follow and share us on your favorite platforms and tell your friends about us. But before we go, regardless of which you prefer, whatever side you fall on, whether hookups are good or bad, you shouldn't do anything for anyone other than what you want and focus on what makes you happy. And always remember to choose your safe word wisely.
Squish, 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 squish.